What it do? It's your boy, Illuminated D. And you know what I'm saying? We back with another one. The first thing I want to do is thank you to everybody who's liked and commented. And to all the subscribers, Pops and I want to let you know how much we really appreciate you. For you to come and spend your time with us and to consume the content, while we understanding that you have busy lives, we want to thank you and bless. So today we had a video where we were watching a couple and the baby mother said, I want my baby father to pay my light bill. And that right there was very triggering for me. I don't have any kids, but this video was crazy. So we're gonna kick this reaction off and we're gonna talk about it. So Pops, tell us your thoughts.
Yes. First off, my thing is if you are married and you're saying that your husband is doing all those things that he's supposed to be doing, then why are your lights even turned off? That's the first question. The second thing is for her not to acknowledge the fact that her lights are off while she has a whole grown ass adult man living up under the same roof as she does, and she can't even fathom the problem. She can't. I mean, for whatever the reason, the delusionalness has her in an alternate. Man, that lady was having a damn out of body experience. She had an out of body experience in front of the whole world, the whole YouTube world. And the sad thing about it is, man, she said it with such a straight face, had no compassion because she feel like she entitled to child support
Mm,
and any extra. And here's
mm,
the thing, I was saying that in the reaction video that I wasn't sure. We don't know if he's paying child support, but you know what? Being the kind of chick that I think she is, I guarantee you that if he wasn't paying child support, she'd have been talking shit about him. She'd have put him on blast.
mm.
And he ain't paying child support, so he don't want to help with the help of his kids with the lights, and he ain't paying child support. He a dusty. So that tell me that he more likely paying child support. So she
Yeah.
want this man to pay child support, and on top of that, bail her out when when her and Lil Pookie, back get up against the wall.
I think that's crazy. I just like we were talking about it earlier, and I was like, for them to be in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? In a relationship, a whole relationship where you're saying, hey, look, we're gonna live under the same household, eat the same food, and have to take care of the kids. You should understand what that responsibility comes with. So she said that he was taking care of all the responsibilities, and I'm just like, dang, well, why can't he take care of the hundo? You know what I'm saying? What's up with the hundred? And I think that's just the poverty mindset of people not taking their responsibility serious up front. I think that's just what it is. And it's sad that it's in our culture. You know what I'm saying? It's sad that it's a lot of our people, the ones going on the internet and actually talking like this, because it's making us look bad. You know what I'm saying? It's making us look bad. And I think we just like our people haven't really got the fundamental understanding. Like, if you can imagine looking back at the times when they were in captivity, you know what I'm saying? They didn't know how to read, they didn't know anything. So when the S&P 500 came out, our people couldn't even invest in the S&P 500. Black Wall Street, you know what I'm saying? You know what happened with that. So it's
Right.
like, we don't own anything. So since nobody owns anything, how can you tell people, hey, look, all you got to do is go start this business, get your business funding, and do this, 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 this. Now you do have people that don't have any fear and they just go and do it. They just gonna try and they gonna fail and then they gonna try and then at some point they succeed. But most
Right.
people don't think like that. They've already got stuck in the matrix. They got stuck in the cycle. They were young, they had kids, and then they couldn't take care of them. So then they struggling and they fight trying to fight a way out by getting 2 to 3 jobs. But the truth is 2 to 3 jobs isn't the answer. Because you can't work 2 to 3 jobs. You're breaking your body down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
you
true.
can't
I mean, it's
like how
true.
can like you're breaking your mental. I just don't understand. Like I couldn't go and work 2, 3 jobs. I refuse. I refuse to do it at this point. I refuse
Right.
to work 2 to 3 jobs. For this, I don't look at it like a job. It's just something I enjoy. But
Absolutely.
personally, I'm not gonna go and work 12 hours and then you know what I'm saying, gotta sleep 8 hours. That's what they say. They say you're supposed to sleep 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not
Right.
gonna go work 12 hours, then go work 3 hours and another 3 hours and then sleep 2 hours to where I'm just paying my bills.
Right. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. That, like you said, it is a poverty mindset. And that mindset has been around for a long time. And you would think that people would learn from watching family members constantly crash and burn. What do I mean by that? So, when I said earlier, in my opinion, okay, first of all, let me say this. I believe in life, we should approach issues, problems, um whatever whatever situation that you might find yourself dealing with, if we assign a percentage of how much of fault, so it's a fault percentage. So if you assign your fault percentage logically, and you determine that, yeah, you know what, in this situation, 85% of it is mine, and 20% is theirs or whatever. So that's how I try to approach life now. So when I look at women getting pregnant, even back when I was a young man, you had women that, they've always had access to birth control pills and other contraceptives back in my day, even though, not as many as they have in today's time. But even back in my day, they had your basics. And for the life of me, in one breath, they'll tell you that they own the pill and not. Even though they see their mama, got a couple kids, mama, struggling, failing, depending on, Uncle Daddy, Uncle Sam to give her paycheck. That's why they having these problems, because now you done got Trump and them in office. And now they're saying, well, you know what? You got all these women that's just they're making a living, generational living. They're not trying to create generational wealth. They're creating generational children to create a generational dependency on welfare. So now you got this man that done came in and said, you know what? You ain't finna retire on welfare, because a lot of them women do it. And instead of them women teaching their daughters and their sons, because as I said, when you look at a man and a woman, I'm gonna tell you, 95% of the owners of bringing life into existence, becoming pregnant, and all the things that go along with it is on the woman. Unless she is violated and somebody takes from her that he didn't have open access to, then I would understand in that situation. But even in that situation, if I know as a woman, if I know my life wasn't straight, I wouldn't stand to bring another life into this place where I know I'm already struggling. And then this man violated me. Now that's the extreme circumstances. All the rest, oh, I'm on the pill. I ain't trying to have no baby. A, B, C, D, and E, they telling you that, but they ain't on no pill.
Mm.
And they're all trying to have babies, because to a lot of women, they see it as a meal ticket, as a come up.
But
Man, let me tell you something.
the
Go ahead.
funny
I'm
part,
sorry.
look, I think the funny part is like people are stuck in the matrix. And when I say the matrix, they're stuck in the movie. See, the movies is when we were kids, they described like this amazing lifestyle where it's happy and it's joyful. You know what I'm saying? And the kids come and it's like this happy bliss. But in reality, we got inflation and everything is more expensive. We got tariffs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody getting hit with tariffs. They hitting us with tariffs. So that means that imported goods are going to be more expensive. And then we got to pay bills. We got to pay food, car note, potentially car insurance, gas, depending on how far you got to drive to work. You got to pay for the kids' clothes. You got to pay for their school supplies. You know what I'm saying? Shoes. You feel me? They growing. So you get every year you can't send them to school with the same clothes as the same year before. They gonna clown them. Kids are cruel today.
Oh,
They've been cruel. They've been savages.
Yeah, they're little a-holes. They're little
For
a-holes. They
real.
are.
Like you don't see it. Like parents don't see it, but the truth is like we all know because we were all kids before we seen it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We all lived it. So since that's the case, people not taking all that into consideration. I think they're just happy in their bliss. But as I'm getting more knowledge and I'm coming out of my bliss, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so serious. People are really BlackRock is buying up all the properties and forcing people to live with rent only. So that means if inflation keeps going up and they keep printing money, right? Which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. So I want to let everybody know that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's all about how your money income is adjusted due to inflation rising. So if you have some sort of pension, if you have some sort of, investment that rises with inflation due to them printing more money, then you're secured. Right. But if you got to work in McDonald's, Walmart, Target, and you're not paying into some sort of retirement that's going to pay you either forever.
I'm telling you, I tell people this all the time, and I've been saying it for a long time. I am fortunate to be in a position where I have the retirement that, I get little cost of living bumps. So, man, that is huge. Because as you said, you could have a 401k, and let me tell you, inflation is going to outpace that 401k eventually, and you're going to find yourself like the video you made, the guy calling it, Mr. Jones, you got to take your ass back to work. Now, Mr. Jones, damn 70-something years old. You remember your grandmother was a greeter? Your grandma was a greeter for a little bit. She had to go stand up at Walmart for a little bit.
But look, I'm not saying that Walmart is a bad place to be if you understand where you're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying?
But not at no 70 years old.
But not at 70. And then look, this is the crazy part. It's like people, I had it, I lost it. But it's like people they're not looking at it realistically. So because they're not looking at it realistically, it's like they're living in this movie moment. And the sick part is it's not just black people anymore. They're getting the white people now too, because all the rich people, they're multicultural. So they don't care what color you are. They trying to get you out the game. And if they can get you out the game, it just makes it easier for them. Think about it. Billions of people already aren't playing, so they swallowing up the money. We shop at Walmart, we shop at Target, we shop at Best Buy, we shop at all these different places. They take your money every single day. People don't got nothing. So instantly they're working to consume, to go back to work. And then pause. Let me grab it one more time. I'm sorry. The 401k, this is what I said. They even getting the white people. The 401k, the sick part is they tell you to invest in your 401k till you're 65. Till you're 65. So that means that you can't get your Lambo till 65. And the sick part is if you go buy a Lamborghini, if you get $1 million, you buy a Lamborghini, now you only got $850. You didn't even take the money, put it in the right vehicle, like an index fund, some sort of certificate of deposit to make it appreciate and then live off the residual. They wouldn't have spent the money. So now they're closer to zero. So that means they got to go back to work.
Right.
They got to go back to work.
We got to go back to work. I mean, it ain't funny, but it's kind of crazy because listen, you better have some type of residual income that's going to come in regardless until you leave this world. You better have something, because if you don't, if all you got is a lump sum, man, you better take that lump sum and you better put it into a vehicle that will net you some type of realistic return. And if you do anything less than that, you setting yourself up for failure. And this is why, gentlemen, now listen, if you want to be chilling in your 50s, man, you bet you gotta start now. You ain't got time to wait. Do not get caught up in the pitfall of, oh, I'm pregnant. One time, two times, three times. Man, you gotta understand that the way that the economy is moving, the way that life is moving, man, everybody ain't gonna make it. Unfortunately, everybody is not going to make it, and that includes white folks. And the sad thing about it, used to be a time that the white folk, they was making it no matter what happened, no matter if it was man, some type of crazy event, they always made it because they always was a part of the house. But guess what? Not in today's time. And like you said, the people at certain levels of life, man, they don't care about no race. The only color they see is the color of green, money. Long as you that color and you got some civility, they'll F with you.
Because if you look at it, all the content creators work together. They got us down here, crabs in a barrel, fighting each other, killing each other. Our people killing each other. But all the rich people work together. They building
Yes.
businesses. They trying to figure out how they can get more money from us so they can eat
Yes.
more. They're eating steak and lobster.
Yes.
They're eating caviar. Caviar costs a band.
Yes. Yeah.
They're going to restaurants eating little tiny steaks, little baby carrots, little plate. Look, it's tiny on a plate, can't even fill you up like Chinese can. Like Chinese food, like Jamaican food. It's not even filling you up. It's a little bite that costs you $500 a plate. And they really spending it like it's real. Like I would never do that if I had that much money. I don't
It's
care.
the Matrix, like you said. It's the Matrix. It's crazy, bro. This is crazy. You got people that don't really got it like that. They putting on like they balling, and they balling on credit. They balling on BS, bro. They really ain't got it like that just to put up the facade, bro. Like I said, rich people pretend to be broke, and broke people pretend to be rich. And you man, in today's time, you better live a frugal life. And I'm not, when I say frugal, see what people have a misunderstanding, a misinterpretation of what I mean when people say live a frugal life. And listen, you can still have a nice crib, a nice car, but that don't mean you gotta go and a closet full of Jordans, gold chains that ain't gonna do nothing but just sit up in the safe, cause some folk don't really do much. So you have you have to keep things in perspective. Even if I was a multi millionaire, I would still live a frugal life. And as long as you handle your wealth like you ain't got nothing but $100 in the bank and you need to conserve every cent, bro. If you got thousands and thousands of that, you'll be just fine. With a residual income every month, you'll be fine.
Like I did the numbers, Pops. I did the numbers. I really don't even want to say it on camera as far as like career path, because it's kind of like I try to tell people, in my career path that they could make like multi-millions if they really like just did it right. Because imagine being able to get a retirement that actually pays you every month, right? And then going to either contract, you can get a federal job. Instantly, it's like it starts rolling downhill, Pops. I was like, oh my gosh, unless you create a business, if you're gonna go the career route, most times, yes. My second half for real, it doesn't start rolling downhill until I turn 38. So I said, oh my gosh, I had my eureka moment. I was
There
like,
you go.
whoa, it's because I got my first retirement out the way, but I'm young enough to be able to like really touch a bag. So
Right.
if you use your first few years to tap into it to get your experience, to get that on hand, what's it called? On hand experience
Yeah, on
with,
the on the job training, on hand experience. Right. Mm-hmm.
you get a
Hands-on
craft
experience.
master, you get your certificates, then
Mm-hmm.
instantly you may not necessarily make money up front. But once you get that cold residual, then you can move over and start making 10K a month,
Right.
15K a month through your career
Right.
path because you can move the job. They always say, like, whenever you jump to a new career path, usually you make more money because you come with more experience. So if you just
Right.
use potentially the first career path to get all the experience you need, all the certificates, get everything you need, then you can just jump right in and start making 10 bands a month. Imagine
Right.
if that's 7K. What if you get a 7K retirement and then you start making 10K?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's real. That's
But that's
real. It's not fake.
but that's you grinding though. That's you not effing around and playing games. Playing these crazy ass games with these women. You got plenty of time for, making babies and all that. That's if everything you saying is 100% factual. But as a man, if you don't apply you can, it's like going to college, right? And it's like when I went through the academy, and I learned the theory of what my job entailed, but I also got some hands-on training too. And nothing beats hands-on training. So if people can give you all this information, but if you don't put the theory in practice, you still taking the L. So it has to come to a point where a person say, man, you know what? I got to do whatever it takes to be successful. I got to do whatever it takes to survive, because if I don't, I'm gonna be a potential statistic.
And Pops is so crazy. I almost became a statistic before. You've seen it. You've seen it. You've seen it. And it's like when I was making these mistakes, I'm looking back now and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what was I thinking? But it's like I was so in the bliss. I was so like not aware, like I was just not conscious about what's happening in the back. And I was becoming more conscious, but I wasn't there yet.
Right.
Because it's like when it started hard cap hitting me, like, and I started seeing like, oh, okay, so it happened for me when I said, okay, I want to leverage myself, right? I started
Hmm.
leveraging myself a little bit. And then at some point I said, okay, I want it all. Like, and not necessarily I want it all, but it's like, I really want to see if I can go to the next level with it. But taking those risks are what get you in position. Pops, you went overseas and contracted. That
Yeah.
was a huge
Oh,
risk.
yeah, that was a hell of a risk by then. You could wind up getting snatched up, and you the next poor soul getting your head chopped off on national TV for the whole world to see. So yeah, man, it was people got snatched when I was over there. So it was, but you know what? In my mind, it was either that or this, and I would much rather have been potentially the creator just looked out for me, man, and just took me and protected me. But I listen, I would much rather have risk being one of them dudes that unlucky souls that got snatched up and got beheaded than be a Dusty. That's just what it was. I
Ah,
risked my life. I've been listen. I would much rather. It was well worth it. As I sit here now, it was well worth it to me. Listen, you have
hey,
no.
Pops. I
That's
wake
just
up with
what
that
it
on my
is.
mind every day. I wake up with that on my mind every day. I'm like, okay, you got a choice. I'm like, at this age that I'm at, I'm like, you got a choice to either be who you want to be or be who society says you're gonna be. And I'm like, if I go the society route, then I'm the Pookie, I'm the Ray Ray, I'm the
Exactly.
but if I go a different way and I pay attention and I watch successful individuals and I listen to individuals who are successful and I pay attention and I watch more and I listen more, you know what I'm saying? I have a chance. I have a chance. So I'm like, I just want to take after, you know what I'm saying, watching, you know, everybody who's been in the village that has got me here. Because if it weren't for you all, it wouldn't have been possible. I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. I can see it now though. And looking at every mistake that I was making, even but by myself, I wouldn't be here because it just wasn't the right path. It didn't make sense. It was gonna always either lead to going to jail, ending up a statistic, or dying. Like there's only a few routes that you can go, but I noticed
only a few.
But I noticed that even in the risks, there is a lighter bearing path that you can walk, that it's hard, but it's just. And it being just, success is possible if you just walk it. But it's
Right.
sometimes we walk off the road and it's like that's when it's, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's when life comes at us, and we allow those things that life throw at us, those issues, and it knocks us off the path. And let me tell you, it's easy to stay knocked off the path. See, it's like you said, people are kind of like in a brain fog. Everybody walking around like there's some crazy stuff going on, and people are still worrying about they baby daddy freaking paying to get the lights turned on when, ma'am, you got bigger, you, whether she know it or not, she got some bigger fish to fry. Everybody who's still walking around here like, this is, everything is normal, man. Things are not normal in this country. And we can be like the ostrich with his head stuck in the ground. But man, I listen, I much rather take this approach on life. I much rather see it coming, and that way try to deal with it. But I always try to put myself in a position, because I know it's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Look, the hurricane came, ripped some shingles off my house, you know what I'm saying? Don't make no difference. I have homeowners insurance, but because I didn't have half the shingle ripped out, they ain't have nothing for me. But even though if they would have said, okay, we'll replace your whole roof, my deductible is like almost $12,000. So I had to come out of pocket 12 stikes just to, man. I'm like, damn, realistically, if I just come up with another 12,000, I buy my own roof. Don't even
That's
deal with
what,
y'all.
that's what they told me. They said, look, we'll replace your fence. They're like, oh, but you got to put a $5,000 copay. But I'm like, it only costs this much to pay for it. They're like, yep, that means you
Exactly.
got to pay it by yourself. I'm like, what's the point of having insurance?
Exactly. That's why your auntie and uncle, that's why everything, new roof, cash. They ain't doing, listen, they ain't financing it, and they ain't going through the insurance. No, we'll just go ahead and we'll take care of it. Don't involve the insurance, because you involve the insurance, beyond a shadow of a doubt, next year your rate gonna go up. So, man, you gotta know that when you have, like a house and things of that nature, you gotta have you a catastrophe fund, because I guarantee you that it's gonna happen. And even if you're not a homeowner, even if you live in an apartment, you still better have a catastrophe fund, because it's just going to happen. You better have some money to fall back on, because if you don't, man, life is going to eat you alive.
Pops, look. So sick part, right? I was in Korea. I was getting ready to move here. I ended up getting the crib, right? They tried to pull the crib from under me. Tried to pull the crib from under me, hit me with all type of crazy hidden fees. All type of crazy hidden fees that they didn't tell me about, because they were looking at my bank account and felt like they could walk away with the bread because they went past the date, the notice. And they're
Right,
like, oh, well, look, if we know he don't got no money in his bank account, because I don't keep any money in there, because all my
right,
money's invested. So when they
right,
looking at it, I would just put the money in there, and then it
right,
looked like I didn't have no bread. So they were
right,
like, oh, we can just hit them with this. They hit me with like 4 bands that I wasn't expecting, right? But they
right.
figured, oh, he don't got no bread, so we just hit him with the 4. We just pulled a crib from under him. One of us get to buy it. Every time
Wow.
that bread showed up, and they were like, They were like, what? Because I ain't even gonna say it. But check this out. So then, but before I got here, I wanted to make an investment. But the crazy part is I didn't even know that there was so much stuff that happened when I got here. I had to get so much stuff fixed. I had to use that bread. So instantly
Right.
it forced me into learning how to go deeper with credit. And then
Right.
I had to learn how to manage that credit. Then I went and re-leveraged myself, broke even, and then started to play the surpass game.
Right.
It took me a minute, but I had no idea that I was even going to have to play with that much bread just off this one investment. I could have went to an apartment and just been stacking money, but what does that do for me? It doesn't give me equity. It
Right.
doesn't give me nothing. I don't
Right.
even got an opportunity at that point. And they
Right.
might even do me dirty and try to take my deposit. And then they know most people not going to go to court to fight it. So they just going to run off with
Of
your
course not.
deposit
They're
too.
gonna say you didn't clean the apartment good enough, or something was wrong with it, something was damaged, and there go. It's easy to get the deposit. It's very easy. So but my thing is, if you might can save some money in an apartment, but the problem is that what is an apartment going to do for you? At least if you have a piece of land, a home, you can always leverage that, because even in the worst of markets, real estate is always gonna have the potential to increase in value in a matter of months. So real estate is always a good thing to have. A house is always a good thing to have. I know a lot of people, you got some people who talk against it, but my question is this. So if you are renting a nice, I don't know, condo, high rise, and you paying $25,000 to $3,000 a month.
You might as well
Well,
buy a
my
house.
question is that okay, so what are you doing with the rest of your money? I hope you invest in it. I
Nothing.
hope you're
They're
doing
paying
something with it.
bills. They don't got no money after that, Pops. They don't got no money
Yeah,
after that. If you
yeah.
paying 20, look, I was paying
Unless you're a ball, unless you're a
2,400.
ball player, unless you're a ball player,
Well,
you know,
then
that's
maybe,
how they living.
but the crazy part is, well, the smart ones, they doing what we
But
do. You
even
know what I'm
they get
saying?
houses.
Yeah, they smart. But the
Yeah.
smart ones do what we do. They got a crib like how we got. They
Hmm.
not the smart one's not buying a $15 million mansion. Because that
Right.
$15 million mansion, 9 times out of 10 ain't gonna sell because nobody got $15 million.
Exactly.
They're buying that
Exactly.
off you being friends with them, and then they just trying to get it because you hyped it up. Nobody else gonna buy that. I'm not gonna buy that $15 million mansion. I'm gonna go
Hmm.
for a weekend with my
Hmm.
friends, and we're gonna turn up in that mug.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? After that, I'm not gonna pay that mortgage. That's crazy. That's
It's
crazy.
not real. It's not feasible.
I gotta be a billionaire to do something like that.
Yeah, but even if you
And
was a
even then, it's
billionaire,
crazy because it's
even if
15
you was a
million.
billionaire, do you think you would need a mansion? You think you actually need a $15 million house? What are you going? My question is, what are you going to do with the rest of the house? Because you can only be on one side of it at a time. So what are you going to do with the rest of it?
I mean, you gotta invite your friends
Especially if you
over. You
ain't
gotta
married.
let your family live there or something. You gotta have people there. Cause I'd be bored. Look, this crib is almost too big for me. It's
Exactly.
not like I could do it, but I'm gonna get bored sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta do
Right.
something.
Right. Yeah, that's just to me. That's just man. That's just to me. That's just
Not really
wasteful.
though.
Unless you just got it like that. You like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, man. You just got it like that. I don't know. I just don't. I just still wouldn't do it. I would get a nice house, but shit, I got a nice house now. You know what I'm saying? So
Now
I
your
don't
crib is
need a
cozy. You know what I'm saying? Yours is like, you got you good already. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to build it up, but really I'm looking at it like I'm gonna just focus on the business. I'm gonna just focus on my business. I'm gonna put the money
right,
behind that because that could pay me. I'm looking at like right now. I'm looking at this investment forced me to look at investment potential and how can I surpass me being maxed. So right
right,
now I'm looking at okay, I maxed myself out. I already maxed myself. Everything is covered. Everything is paid for. Bills paid for. Now how can I surpass that through investments, credit usage, and building a business? Like it's like I know for a fact, like I got the money, but it's
hmm,
like, okay, I could party, but I could use it to do this. You know what I'm saying? Instead, and that's
exactly,
gonna make me money.
exactly,
Like I could be
exactly.
popping a bottle right now with a baddie for sure. On 11, getting ready to knock something down for sure. I probably could, And
Right.
then, you know what I'm saying? But instead, we gonna
But
focus
after,
on
but
the
after you have
business.
that
You
post
feel
nut
me?
clarity and a couple stikes gone later, your bank account $3,000 lighter. I mean, was it really worth it? And that's what we gotta. That's what men have to ask themselves: is it really worth it? This baddie over here that she may or may be a real live, 8 or 9, because man, a 10 is hard to come by. But let's just
Man,
hypothetically say she is a 10. But I mean, are you a natural 10? Did you go get some enhancements done? So that's the first thing. But when you break it down to the box, what difference is this girl who thinks she a 10? How's her box any better than the girl over here who really and truly a solid maybe 7? But she's still, look, solid 7 or 8, still nice looking, nice little body, figure. Maybe she ain't no Kelly Rowland, but shit, I mean, damn, I don't think I want that anyway. You know what I'm saying? I just like what I like. So men gotta get off that trip, man, because I'm telling you, women will keep you broke if you allow them to. If you feed into, oh, you gotta look a certain kind of way, you gotta dress a certain kind of way, you gotta dry this, you gotta take them out on these lavish dates, man, I'm telling you, that will keep you broke
it
and it'll keep
will.
you looking crazy.
It will if you let it. But we all want to be successful and we all want to be somewhere in life. But in order to do that, you gotta do something that you ain't never done before. And that's the reason that we doing this right here, right now. I'll give it over to Pops, let him close it out. And for me, I hope everybody has a great night. Bless.
Well, YouTube family, it's always a pleasure to come on and fellowship. And now that to be able to do it in real time, man, you can get that knowledge, you can get it on the fly. So, family, you already know what it is. Always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.